channel. So this is literally how the video starts.
Warning, this video is an attempt at a good faith nuanced look at the fictional movie Obsession and the characters therein, which will probably upset some of you for some reason.
Immediately I'm pissed. You know that saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Well, in this case, it's what he says and how he says it. Like, tone will continue to be a problem.
How much proof do you need? If you came here looking for a video that exposes toxic femininity, stop scrolling. Oh my goodness. This is toxic femininity in full effect, and she doesn't even seem to know she's doing it. You've seen our breakdown of Alex Meyers Obsession review. We laid out clip by clip why this man does not deserve to be called a rapist and does not deserve to be called a misogynist. So how does someone arrive at the opposite conclusion? We've got the perfect example, not just any example, a content creator with 250,000 subscribers whose reaction video pulled over 400,000 views. The title alone tells you where this is going. Obsession is exposing the misogynists and Alex Meyers apparently. She's going to expose something in this video, just not what the title promises. Now, gentlemen, a warning of our own. The real toxicity, the part that's going to make your jaw drop, is in the second half of this video. But if you skip ahead, you're going to miss why it matters. We need you to see the full pattern built piece by piece from the very first clip to the last, or the ending won't hit the way it's supposed to. Watch this one start to finish. One more thing before we start. Watch her body language while she plays his clips. You're gonna learn something before she says a single word. Let's get into it.
Ain't that a man?
His Obsession video was the only video that I've actually watched in full, and my god, was it quite the introduction to his channel. So this is literally how the video starts.
Warning, this video is an attempt at a good faith nuanced look at the fictional movie Obsession and the characters therein, which will probably upset some of you for some reason.
Immediately I'm pissed. You know that saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Well, in this case, it's what he says and how he says it. Like, tone will continue to be a problem.
And before he's made a single argument, before the disclaimer even finishes, she's already told her audience how to feel about him.
Immediately I'm pissed.
Zero context on this man. Zero prior videos watched. 6 seconds into his disclaimer. Verdict reached.
But here's the thing that really gets me, and here's the thing that I really want to rant about. The main argument of Alex's video is so fucking stupid that I genuinely do not understand what the point of it is. I don't understand why this was the hill that he was willing to die on. I kid you not, his argument literally was that Bear didn't do anything wrong until he did. That was literally like the thesis of his video that he talked about for like a good, like maybe a third of his video. Like, it was not an insignificant amount. Obviously this had everybody wondering, hey, so what? Like, why did Alex feel the need to ride so hard for Bear? Literally nobody wanted or needed that.
In other words, Alex made an argument, and it's not one she wanted to hear. Notice what doesn't happen here. She doesn't explain what's wrong with the argument. She tells you it's stupid, tells you nobody needed it, and moves on. That's not a rebuttal. That's a dismissal wearing a rebuttal's clothes.
I just want you to see how prevalent these Bear defending sentiments and these potentially misogynistic sentiments were throughout his video.
Okay, so jokes aside, up until this point, Bear was just a dude with a crush on a girl that he was too scared to talk to. Okay, a story of my life.
Take a shot every time Alex says "at this point in the movie." So let me give you a little analogy. Like, if you were watching a documentary of a famous killer, and every 5 seconds as the narrator is describing the moments leading up to the murder, they go, well, as a reminder, at this point, at this very moment in time, they're pretty chill and haven't killed anyone yet. Would that not be odd and redundant? Because you and I both know that in the very near future, they do go on to kill someone. What's the point of repeatedly emphasizing that they haven't done anything wrong yet, when we know that they do commit heinous crimes literally so soon after this moment?
The foolishness. She mocks his timeline disclaimers.
Take a shot every time Alex says "at this point in the movie."
Then reaches for a serial killer documentary analogy to make her point. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work for a very specific reason. Motive. A documentary that shows you who someone was before they killed isn't being redundant. That's the entire point of the genre. You track the person to understand what changed and why. She picked the one analogy that exactly proves Alex is doing exactly what good storytelling is supposed to do. Now here's the clip about body language we told you to watch closely at the top of this video. Forget what she's saying for a second. Watch her face.
Obviously, things get different later on, but at least up to this point, Bear has no idea that the wishing willow worked. And again, to his credit, the very next day he immediately tells Ian that he thinks something's wrong with Nikki. Like he seems genuinely concerned. That night, Ian apparently talked to Nikki, and she said that she was on some drugs or whatever, and so maybe that explains why she was acting so erratic, like when she and Bear kissed earlier. So at this point, Bear thinks that Nikki was acting weird, kissed him, freaked out, etc. because she was on drugs, right? So again, to him, in this moment, it all seems totally above board.
Even though Bear isn't aware of the One Wish Willow being real at this point, I think the thing that Alex is missing is that Bear's actions are still plenty worthy of critique. Bear knew that something was up with Nikki, but he had no problem passively accepting her physical advances and overall being complacent in the matter. That's the biggest issue here. That's literally the commentary of Obsession.
She clearly didn't watch the movie, but we did. Here's what missing the point actually leaves out.
I didn't know you were on drugs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Not saying what?
You took advantage of me.
I don't think I didn't.
I know, that's why I'm saying you didn't.
Okay, good.
How much proof do you need? That's not Bear rationalizing to himself in his own head. That's the other person in this relationship, on screen, in dialogue, directly telling him he did nothing wrong, and then telling him her feelings are real.
Why do you like me?
Would it freak you out if I said yes?
To be clear about what we know, that Bear doesn't. We, the audience, eventually learn this isn't fully Nikki talking. Something else is influencing her. Bear doesn't have access to that information here. All he has is a girl he's genuinely in love with.
Do you have feelings for me?
Looking him in the eye, clearing him of wrongdoing, and telling him she's felt this way since Christmas.
How long have you felt that way?
It's just happened over time. Started during Christmas.
That's not worthy of critique, but Alex is missing it. That's a scene Amanda's own video never shows you. The one moment in the film that most directly explains why Bear believed what he believed. Hold on to that phrase anyway. Not because the critique holds up, because of what happens to it next.
He didn't wish that she would do whatever he wanted, or I wish that she would become obsessed with me and me only. He specifically wished that Nikki would love him more than anyone, which is literally what everyone who has ever had a crush wants. Every single fanfic about golly gee, I sure wish One Direction would kidnap me and fall in love with me all at the same time. As if half the girls who saw this movie haven't wished the exact same thing before.
Alex's whole line of reasoning on Bear's behalf is exactly the problem that Obsession is trying to point out. Being complacent in a situation that you know is wrong is still taking advantage of the situation. You don't need to be overtly aggressive or overtly manipulative or overtly anything. Even if you're doing it passively, it's still wrong. And refusing to acknowledge or take responsibility for that is straight up awful. Also, saying that Bear refused to take advantage of Nikki when the opportunity was originally presented to him is crazy, knowing full well that Bear did go on to rape her. That's so genuinely bizarre to me.
Did you catch what just happened? Not because she disagreed with Alex, because she quietly changed the question. Remember when she's seated in Act 1? Bear's actions being worthy of critique. Watch how that grows here. Alex spends the beginning of his review asking one thing: who was Bear before the wish? Amanda answers a completely different question. Did Bear behave correctly after the wish? Those are not the same conversation, and Alex was never disputing the second one. He agrees Bear fails Nikki after the wish. That was never the disagreement. The disagreement is whether Bear starts the story as a predator, or whether the tragedy is an ordinary guy slowly becoming complicit in something monstrous. Two completely different readings. She treats them as if they're the same claim and rebuts one by answering the other. It gets worse.
It is true that Bear didn't purposefully strip Nikki's autonomy when he initially made the wish. Of course, he had no idea that that was going to happen. But the entire point of the movie is that after that initial moment when he made the wish, Bear fumbled the multiple opportunities that came his way to actually do the right thing for Nikki, and was not proactive in the slightest about trying to change her situation until he started to become negatively impacted in a major way.
Oh my goodness! Not a point, not one team, not one interpretation. The entire point. That's a remarkable level of certainty for a film that spends its opening building something very specific. Before any wish, before anything supernatural, before Nikki loses a shred of autonomy. Bear is awkward, nervous, rehearsing a confession, trying to tell a girl he genuinely likes how he feels. The movie doesn't stumble into that. It builds it on purpose because the horror only works if the audience believes his feelings were real first. Take that away and there's no tragedy left, just a villain. A film can criticize Bear's choices after the wish and explore what happens when real affection gets corrupted by power at the same time. Those ideas don't compete, they reinforce each other. But the second you crown one of them, the entire point, the other one has to disappear. And that's the pattern running through this whole reaction. Every time Alex points to another layer, she doesn't argue with it. She erases it, then treats him as the unreasonable one for noticing it was never there. The foolishness.
But remember, his wish was not that Nikki would become obsessed with him. He wished that she would love him. So why isn't her love for him as selfless as you're claiming that his love for her should be? You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying Nikki's the bad guy or Bear is some like blameless victim or whatever. I'm just saying there's many ways you could look at this movie.
Is there though?
What do you mean, is there though? You can always look at a movie from different ways. What are you talking about?
Nikki's love for Bear isn't selfless or pure because it's not Nikki. Again, that's literally the whole point. Whenever Alex is like arguing with somebody online that seems to have a different opinion than him, it's always a woman. These women that are being so emotional and projecting their things onto this movie and, you know, not having real honest conversations about it in good faith and are being so hypocritical. Is it crazy to say that these examples that he's giving have an underlying animosity against women?
How do you know? You clearly stated you didn't watch his videos.
His Obsession video was the only video that I've actually watched in full, and my god, was it quite the introduction to his channel.
How much proof do you need? Notice what just happened. Every disagreement Alex has ever had with anyone gets sorted into one category: hatred of women. Not he disagreed with this person. Not this person happened to be wrong. Animosity. That's not an argument. That's a diagnosis she's handing out for free.
Now again, I need to be very clear here, okay? Ultimately, Bear is the bad guy. He doesn't know what he did until late in the movie, but when he figures it out, he just keeps on rationalizing to himself because, like, he wants Nikki, and he doesn't seem to really care that she's being tortured the whole time, but rather he wants the demon to just act like Nikki so that he can pretend that he's actually dating Nikki, you know? Like, this is a bad dude. Yes, absolutely. Nikki is completely innocent. Her life is forever ruined because of some depressed, selfish loser guy, okay? Yes, like that's the outcome of the movie. But how we get to that point, I think, is a lot more nuanced than a lot of you were giving the movie credit for.
You're just straight up gaslighting me. Just because you say that Bear is the villain at like a couple points in your video doesn't negate the sentiment of your video as a whole.
Gaslighting. That word means something specific. It means deliberately manipulating someone into doubting their own sanity, their own memory, their own perception of reality. It is one of the most serious accusations you can level at another person. Someone suggested a movie might have more than one layer to it. That's the gaslighting. If disagreement is gaslighting and nuance is animosity, there is no version of engaging in good faith that could ever satisfy her, because the words themselves have stopped meaning anything specific. They've just become louder ways of saying, I don't like what you said. Now watch what happens next, because this is where she unknowingly proves our point herself. Okay, gentlemen, here is where it gets really toxic. Everything up to this point could, generously, be called sloppy analysis, missed context, overreach, a subject quietly switched. What happens next isn't that.
And then this last clip, I saved until the end, even though it was one of the clips from the beginning of his video, because It was one of the ones that disturbed me the most, and so this is when Alex was first introducing Nikki as a character.
So here we get a look at who Nikki is. And she seems like she's kind of one of those girls who's like those like ball buster types, you know? She's always like, ha, bitch can't handle all this. I've never met a guy who can keep up with me. And then they just lay there like SpongeBob.
I mean, to make a joke about how she's the type of girl to just like lie there when there was a rape scene that you didn't even mention in which like I'm truly at a loss for words.
Pause right there. Listen to what she just told you she did.
And then this last clip, I saved until the end, even though it was one of the clips from the beginning of his video.
I've saved this until the end, even though it was one of the clips from the beginning of his video. That's not something Alex did. That's something she did. She pulled a clip out of where it actually sits in his video and moved it on purpose by her own admission, because relocating it next to her discussion of the grape scene hit harder than where it actually appears. That's not analysis. That's editing for effect. And once you've seen her do it once, admittedly on camera, you have to ask what else got moved. Toxic. Full stop.
So if you can believe it, this video received tons of backlash immediately. So seeing the response, Alex doubled down in the comment section with his own pinned comment, which says, "Unfortunately, some of you are doing the very thing I talked about in the video. You are only seeing and hearing what you want out of my video, instead of actually listening to what I am saying. As I say multiple times in the video, Bear is bad. He does bad things. He is a villain. My video was in reaction to people saying that he is some kind of evil incel from the beginning. I wanted to look at how he goes from just a normal dude into the villain. I say in the video that after he realizes the wish worked, he goes on to be the bad guy and gets worse and worse."
She read that word for word, his own clarification in his own words. Now pay attention to how she is about to expose why this space keeps growing.
I'm so sorry, it's Future Amanda here. I have to interject. There is insightful commentary and analysis to be made on Bear's progression throughout the movie, but that's literally not what was going on here. Basically, Alex was like, okay, wait, he's not bad yet, he's not bad yet, he's not bad yet. Okay, wait, nope, now, that's the moment. He's bad now. So stupid.
Watch the cut. Future Amanda here. I have to interject. On the other side of that cut, she's not quoting him anymore. She's doing an impression of him, a version he never actually said anywhere in that video, and reacting to the impression like it's real. She read the truth. Then she performed a lie.
Basically, Alex was like, okay, wait, he's not bad yet, he's not bad yet, he's not bad yet. Okay, wait, nope, now, that's the moment. He's bad now. So stupid.
Then she called the lie stupid. Gentlemen, this is toxic femininity in real time. We're not interpreting it. She's showing it to you.
So then Alex made an apology video, which wasn't even that much of an apology, low-key quadrupling down in some cases. His original Obsession video and then the apology video have since been deleted, but here is a look at parts of his apology video.
This is the part of this breakdown we almost didn't catch. Alex's original apology video is gone now. He took it down himself, which means the only version most people will ever see is whatever Amanda chose to show them. Here's how Alex's real apology actually starts. Not her clip of it, his actual words from the actual video.
So, a lot's happened. I wanted to make this video because at first it was just hate on the video for Obsession, and that's fine. You can hate on it if you want. You can disagree, that's totally fine. But it has, in the past couple of days, it's devolved into personal attacks, and it's gotten to a level that I can foresee getting kind of dangerous. Some of the things some of you are doing and saying is it's gone beyond just the video, and now it's become rather serious.
Let that sit for a second. A man just told his audience he's scared. Now watch what she does with it. Here's how Amanda's video presents that same apology to her 400,000 viewers.
His original Obsession video and then the apology video have since been deleted, but here is a look at parts of his apology video.
So first of all, I'm sorry if...
Immediately no. Immediately no. Wrap it up. We cannot be starting this apology with an "I'm sorry if."
I'm sorry.
That's her actual opening. Alex's actual opening, the part where he says he's scared this could get dangerous, isn't in there. It's gone. What she shows instead is the second sentence, mocked, framed as if it's the first thing he said. He said dangerous. She said wrap it up.
I'm sorry if...
Immediately no. Immediately no. Wrap it up. We cannot be starting this apology with an I'm sorry if.
I'm sorry.
That's not an accident of editing. That's a choice. That's once. It happens again. Later in the real apology, right before Alex clarifies his divorce, he says this.
It was made in good faith. I knew people would disagree, but as I said at the beginning of this video, it's gotten to the point where it's not just disagreeing about my thoughts on the movie, but now it's gotten to a point where people are spreading complete lies about me, and from the DMs I'm getting and from what I've seen, it's getting to a point where it could become like very real.
That line, a person saying the backlash is escalating into something that could become very real, isn't in Amanda's video either. What is in her video immediately after skipping it?
I do respect women. I do not think women deserve to be raped. Apparently I need to say this very clearly. So that is my thoughts on the topic.
You probably should have not looked at the notes app in order to say those things.
A man said twice in a 4-minute apology that he was afraid this was becoming genuinely dangerous. Both times in a reaction video built around holding him accountable, that fear didn't make the cut. What did make the cut was a joke about him reading from his notes app. Twice, not once. Twice! This is not carelessness anymore, gentlemen. This is toxic, and it's on tape. That's not a missed detail. That's 2 missed details in the same direction, in the same video, about the one thing in this entire story that should have mattered most. If this doesn't convince you what toxic femininity actually looks like, nothing will.
Those are all things that are incredibly concerning because they have real life consequences every single day. And you say that you understand that, but again, that's very much not the sentiment that I got from your initial review, from your pinned comment, from your Instagram post, from your apology video. Multiple times to prove to me otherwise, and I'm still left feeling like you don't get it and feeling very concerned about that.
4 attempts at resolution. His original disclaimer, his pinned comment, an Instagram story, a full apology video, and her verdict is still, I'm still left feeling like you don't get it. We've shown you this pattern before in a completely different video from a completely different woman, talking about her own father, old job. State your case, hear the answer, move forward, new job, manage everyone's feelings indefinitely because there's no actual finish line to reach. Alex crossed that finish line 4 separate times. She moved it a 5th. That's not disagreement. That's toxic femininity on camera, admitted to in her own words. And you didn't need us to tell you that. She told you herself. Listen to all, follow none.
Management, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.